Alright, doing chapter 7, section 8. This is called special products. Okay, products means we're doing what? Multiplying. Okay, what we're multiplying is, okay, the first one is called square of sums. Okay, what do you think we're talking about? Square of addition, what I'm talking about, okay, binomials here, okay? So I'm talking about things like x plus 3 squared, 2x plus 4 squared. Those are what I'm talking about when I say square of sums. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you the formula. We're going to actually work through it together, and you're going to actually come up with your own formula on this, and then we're going to go back and solve these two real quick. Okay? When they give it to us, they call it a plus b squared. Now, how would I rewrite that as a square? What does that mean? A, okay, times a plus b. Now, using FOIL, can you tell me what that is? What is a times a? What is the outside? A times b? AB. What's the inside? B times a. Yes, you need to write it AB. Put them in alphabetical order, remember, okay? So change them around. Now, what's the last term? B times b? Can I add any terms? Yes, so it's a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. This is the formula for this. So anytime you have written a plus b, okay, squared, then you're going to be able to go straight to this formula. Okay, I want to change pages. Somebody remember those two equations that we did at the top, x plus 3 squared and 2x plus 4 squared. Okay, thank you. Alright, so our a plus b squared came out to be a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. When you go tonight, write that at the top or to the side every time that you start a problem. That way you'll remember it, okay? So, my first one was x plus 3 squared. Okay? And if you want to write it right there, I'm fine with that to start that. A squared plus 2ab, oops, let me erase that, 2ab plus b squared. Now, the reason they did a's and b's, a's is my first term in the monomial, b was my second. Okay? Now, so a squared is taking that first term and squaring it. So how do I write x squared? X squared. Then I'm going to have 2 times my first term times my second term. What's the first term? What's the second term? Plus second term square. What's the second term? So all I've done is replaced, okay, for that a and b. Does everybody see where I got my a's and b's? A is my first term in my monomial or binomial, and b is my second term in the binomial. So all I'm doing is plugging in. Now, go through and do the math. Can I do anything with x squared? No. Can I do anything here? Yes. What is that? 6x, because I can multiply my constants. So 2 times 3 is 6, and x just gets tagged along. Plus, can I do this? So that is 9 plus 3 times 3, and I'm done. That's my answer. Now, if I had expanded that, I would have come out with the same thing. If I would have used FOIL. So look, because if I would have expanded, then I would have had, what's the first term? X times x is x squared, right? Outside terms, x times 3. Inside term, 3 times x. And last terms, 3 times 3. And then if I would have added my like terms, I came up with the same thing. I would like for you to practice these special rules. Okay? I would like for you to practice the special rules. Now, if you forget it, like on SOL test or something like that, they're not going to know whether you used a special rule or you just expanded and multiplied. Okay, so it doesn't matter. They're just trying to give you a quick reference way to multiply instead of having to rewrite everything out. Okay? Let's do the second one, which was, what was that? 2x plus 4 squared. Alright, so again, I'm going to copy it. So a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. That's my special product. So first term, what's my first term? 2x and I'm going to square it. Now look, I've got to put this in parentheses. If I put 2x squared without the parentheses, it only looks like my x is squared. Does everybody see why I did that? Because it's the whole first term. Plus 2 times the first term, which is 2x, and what's the last term? Plus, or second term squared, which would be, now let's go through and do the math. What is 2x squared? 4x squared. Very good. What's the middle term right here going to be? Because 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. X plus 16. And now I'm done. Could I have expanded that and used FOIL? Yes, you could have. But hopefully, you're going to get to the point that you're going to even be able to skip this step once you memorize this formula here and you can do that math in your head. Okay? So that's their goal, is to help shorten those formulas for you. Any question on the square of a sum? Okay? We're moving ahead. Square of a difference. So that means we've got a minus b squared. So let's look at it as we multiply it out. A times a is a squared. Outside term, a times negative b, negative ab. Inside terms, negative b times a, negative ab, again, put it in order. And then your last terms, negative b times negative b plus b squared. So when I add these, I get a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. That is my formula for the square of a difference. So the only difference between the square of a sum and the square of a difference is, before your second term in your answer, if it's the sum, it's going to be an add. If it's a difference, it's going to be subtract. Yes? Because 2ab and a squared b squared are different things. A squared b squared tells me I'm multiplying them. Okay? I'm not multiplying those. I have a negative ab minus ab. Okay? So that tells me I'm minusing 2 ab's. Okay? Because if you'll remember, over here I'm minusing one here and I'm minusing another one here. So I'm minusing a total of 2 of them. Okay? So that's why I can't go from 2ab to a squared b squared. Okay? Alright. So at this point, could you go and solve this equation by using that formula? Yes. Remember, it's the same formula, a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. First term is 2x, and again, you need to put that in parentheses, minus 2 times first, times the second, negative 1, thank you, plus, actually, no, I'm sorry. Here, do not count that as a negative 1 because I have already incorporated that in with this right here. So he needs to stay positive. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, Because I've already done my formula, and I have already treated that a minute ago when I did my here, I treated that as the negative b, and that got it here, and negative b over here gave me that negative b. I've already dealt with that negative to get my formula. If I go in and change that now, okay, it's going to throw me off. Okay, so just keep the number in this one since I already have a formula to plug in. Okay, I already know it's a difference, so here's my difference. I've taken it out. Alright, so I'm only worried about first term, second term, so it's 2x and 1. Plus my last term squared, which would be 1 squared. So now, what is 2x squared? 4x squared. And what's this? Minus 4x plus 1. There's my answer. Okay? So, again, it's just a formula plugging into that one. And then we have one more. Product of a sum and difference. And what they're meaning is, they're saying a plus b times a minus b. The first term in each have to be the same, and the last two things have to be the same. So it might look like 2x plus 1 and 2x minus 1. It might be x plus 3 and x minus 3. It might be 1052 x minus 3000, and it's going to be the same except it's going to be plus. Okay, so your terms are exactly the same. The only thing difference is one is plus and one is difference. Okay? I'm going to erase this so we can work that other problem. Okay, let's multiply. FOIL, first term is a squared. Outside term is inside term. And last term. What is happening right here? They cancel off, so is all you have is a squared minus b squared. So if I gave you the formula 2x minus 3 and 2x plus 3, if I use that formula right here, what's the first term squared? 2x squared minus, what's the second term squared? What is 2x squared? And what is 3 squared? And there's your answer. First term, last term, and you're done. Because when it's doing a sum and difference, you're canceling out those two middle terms. Because one of them, when you do the math, should be a positive, whatever it is when you multiply, and one should be a negative, whatever you do when you multiply. You're multiplying the same numbers, so they should cancel each other off. Right. Okay? Any questions?